What's up everyone, Crimson Typhoon 7 back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This time I'm actually doing my first Master Duel video, which is where I want to profile the first deck I got to Master Tier with in this game, which was pure Ritual Beast. I've been playing Ritual Beast for a few seasons in this game now, trying to get cards and stuff, and I have a good amount of stables at this point, but I'm definitely not everywhere I need to be with all the URs I need. But I'm pretty happy with this list. With the new Fiendsmith stuff coming out, this deck has very positive interactions into a lot of the top decks and annoying cards. So I'll just go through what I've played here. Recommends this deck list, a more budget deck list, and a deck list that I'd play if I had every card I wanted. And I can show you guys a replay. So jumping into this right here, it's a pretty standard Ritual Beast lineup. I guess the slightly weird things are I am playing the Pendulum just for more names. Again, I don't exactly have everything I want, so in a best of one, I do win a full combo just as much as possible if I win the coin flip. So that's why this is in here. Everything else should be fairly standard. 3 draw right now because I'm very sick of Fiendsmith stuff. I want Fiendsmith counters, and if they start with the Engraver, this can hurt a lot, especially for anything else they're playing, like just white wood cards and stuff like that. One Fenrir's in here just as a good stuff card. I have a few other cash cards. I was playing Unicorns and Birth for a while, but I just wanted a powerhouse going first and second, so that's why this is in here. But otherwise, this should be a pretty standard list. I'm not actually on the Nemesis cards. I feel like they're iffy in a best of one format. The only time you can really tell what to do is blind call light because a lot of people are on Fiendsmith right now. Or if you lose the coin flip and are forced to go second or forced to go first, even though you lost the coin flip, you can just blind call fire, assuming it's Tempai still. But yeah. For the extra deck, I am playing Petalfin again because I don't have everything I want in here. But 2, 2, and 2, all my best Ritual Beast cards are actually a 2 because now I don't auto lose anything major to 1 Kashuna Unicorn trigger, and that card's all over the place in Platinum Diamond as I was climbing the ranks. So I'm pretty happy with this list overall. Um, I think the one other thing I want to mention with this list, I think 3 Inheritance is unfortunately standard now. I usually like playing 2 of this, but with only 2 E-Tellies in this format and Pot of Prosperity getting banned, consistency is at an all-time low for this deck. So that's why I'm on 3 Inheritance, just to be able to play as much as I possibly can, even though it has a hard time with hand traps. So this is the list I've been playing with. It's been tweaking. I've played a little bit more of a Bestial engine. I've played a little bit of a Cash engine. Tried a bunch of different stuff. Um, we'll move on to the second list now, which is a budget list. If you're just starting out this kind of deck, um, differences. Uh, Basically as many Ritual Beast cards as possible. You can just get them while you're opening the pack. Bonds in here. I'm not the hugest fan of this, but this Link 4 is so good right now with stopping Fiendsmith cards that I think you can just bond to cheat out the Link 4 and be in a good spot. 3 DeFi, it's a good budget option for a card that can potentially auto win you some games. I do think, unfortunately, 3 Ash, 2 Maxi, and 3 of Laura are required for the UR slot, even a budget list, just to play this deck. But a lot of the other URs in the main deck here are cards you get from those 750 gem bundles, so hopefully you have a few of those, even if you're just starting out. Actually, just more SR options instead of your options. I do think that SPIP is a little bit non-negotiable because the normal turn 1 M board does often end on IP and SP if you're not going for a big guy Pelio play. But I do think you could get away with 1 Rairatari for a budget list right now. This is the budget build. This is basically somewhat close to what I was playing a month or 2 ago, and I'm very happy with it. I think you can perform just with as many names as possible. Just the games you go first, do your best to win the games, and climb the ranks. If I was had everything I wanted, I'd probably play something like this. I do like the one ogre to have an e-tally target. You can even play like ogre. It's not as cheesy as you think it would be. You could play ogre and you could either play cash cards or just have this, and you could actually make Barone before you do anything. Like if you just e-tally out an ogre, or like you go summon a cash monster, effect search, e-tally out an ogre, slap a Barone down before the turn even starts, insulate yourself completely against Niv and other things. It's a little cheesy, but this card's so good at why not just make it before you do anything if you can. The one shifter, obviously, the full suite of call, buy, and cross out. In the extra deck, this makes SP easier, Anima, Typhon just to outbreak boards, and then the suite of Apollosa and Access Code I think are very good. Or you could just also invest in the Nemesis package. I think that's only 2 URs with the Protoss and the Flame Banshee being URs, but these are 3 lists I'm very confident in, and I think you could go far with these, even in a format that's becoming more and more hospitable towards everyone, honestly. The pitch for why to play this deck is mostly that this deck has insane interactions against some of the best cards in the format right now. So this card, Raritari, his first line of text here is the huge part. Neither player can tribute cards to activate or basically tribute for cost. This has huge interactions. Most importantly, with the new stuff, it stops Fiendsmith Requiem. I've had Platinum players, Diamond players, even some Master players. They just go for the Lurie play. I even have Bestials. I'm like, sure, summon the Lurie, do whatever you want. I've always doubted. I had the Raritari Banish. And I'm just like, go into Requiem, I know you want to, it's just not going to do anything. So it ended up setting them up in a really bad spot where they just have this thing on the board and they're like a zombie, like, why does the card not work? So that's a huge interaction. It's very good for this deck. Also, for the Azamina stuff that all these Fiendsmith decks are playing right now, I've seen a ton of either Fiendsmith Azamina, Snake Eye, or Fiendsmith Azamina Whitewoods. This card just doesn't work. So I've had people activate this or summon this, doesn't work. They're like, okay, I'll just tribute it off. This doesn't work either. And these are Diamond Master tier players who just haven't had this interaction. I don't know if they haven't played in paper when this was legal 6-7 months ago or what, but very favorable interactions. If you get to go first, you can actually just floodgate people out of the game just with your normal combo. Other huge interactions, you shut out the Yugioh deck very hard if you go first, because this Lotus can trigger, the Yugioh negate can trigger a Phantom, and then Requiem doesn't work either. So half their deck just doesn't work if they don't have they play the actual good cards in their deck, the Unchained cards. Those actually are the thing that can beat your deck. If they don't have those or have a way to those, shutting them out with your Steeds and other cards, you just win the game. The last favorable interaction, not as important now, very important in the past. For the last format before this, I still see 10 by players though. You can get Roku under the link 4. So a lot of people, I use with the how all their cards are at 1 at this point or 2, I just like imperm the Pydra. They're like, okay, maybe I have a chance till battle phase. So maybe they just go this. If they go this instead of Chandra, they instantly lose the game. Or I've had people start with this normal summoning and getting Roku because they hard opened it and it just doesn't work. So these 5 cards are huge in this format that your Link 4 just stops completely. And that's why I think this deck still has some very favorable matchups in this format. The last thing I do want to talk about before we go is I'll show you a replay. This is one of my Diamond 1 replays to get in a Master tier. I just want to show what this deck can do on the draw if you have a decent hand. My hand was decent in this game. I'll just show it to you guys. So I got to go first here, which is very nice. With Max C being a 2, this deck's a little more playable, but the Mold Charm is also to stop it. That's why you really need the Ash Blossom Suite and the Called Buys. But here we go. Not the best hand. Rampengu is a really bad 1-card combo, but it can still combo, and E-Telly can help. But there will be hand traps, so it becomes a little difficult. Doing a scuffed combo here with the 1-card Rampengu combo. Luckily here we do have the Ash to avoid the Max C. Very good. I mean, we have 3 Ashes to 2 Max Cs now, so the math is a bit more in our favor. But now we get to do the normal Richobius combo for the most part. Or it's an abridged combo. You don't get the full steeds and everything sweet here because you had to start with the Rampengu, but we'll just see. Just because I'm blind at this point and I know everyone's on Fiendsmith, like I was saying before, I am just going to bum rush to the link 4 and hope it gets me there. So it's not the best board, but it's got 1 interruption and a beer against 4 cards. I think I can make it work, and this card deck can stick because it always has full combo after you comboed, as long as you have Lara and Gray. But now my opponent's going to do Fiendsmith stuff. And I'm just like, sure, let's see it, buddy. These 2 cards just don't work. I might have been able to stop them a little bit here by just getting rid of the Whitewood card because they get to SP and get rid of my Link 4 here. So they don't get to Requiem, but they do get to trigger the Deception, so they will get the negate. But I know I'm not dying this turn because the SP has already used its banish effect, the first one. So we'll let them do their thing. I mean, I have a nib here. I'm going to have to nib before the rank 6 can come out here, which is a little annoying because they get to dodge it with most of their board. But I can deal with that rank 6 for the most part. And again, I know I'm not dying, so I'm just like, set up your average board here with a negate and an SP, and I'll try and play through it to the best of my ability after that. So right here, and we're on turn 3 here, but the board's a lot weaker. So they do have that trap, which is a Book of Moon, and they have the SP, Banish, and an Omni. And they have very decent follow-up because they're playing Fiendsmith. So, but we have this card in our grave, so we always have full combo. And even then we have the Nibiru, which can at least beat over one of these before we do that. But I'm going to try a little bit of comboing first. And this deck always has a very strong turn 3 if you got to play turn 1. So we're going to just out this board here the best of our ability. Good enough for me. I mean, this thing can get booked, but I really don't care. Out the SP, tag out this. I banish my Link 4. Even if you're against SP banished, it's a viable target to bring back off the new fusion. So now we do the disgusting thing of setting us up with infinite advantage with just Canalk loops now that we're fully set up, and our opponent will be effectively outvalued. There's no way they're getting back. They can't Requiem still. They can't use the Holodasm, or not the Holodasm, Deception still. There's just 2 cards they can't play, which is like most of their recovery. So we're just gonna completely get them out of the game at this point. You can also just even flip up your cards like a Book of Moon with the continuous spell. It's a very neat trick you can do. But we're just gonna go plus a million here, and then eventually they're gonna concede because they know they just can't do enough here. I just set up a million negates again, or not a million negates, a million interactions. But they have nothing now. I'm just going to banish this Engraver on the start of the turn. Steeds pop, banish here, and then I, again, have full combo again turn 5 if we get there. So that's about all I really wanted to discuss. I've been really enjoying this deck. It was my first time getting Master. I'm not sure if Master is the best rank. I think Master 1 is the highest rank, but I was pretty happy with the achievement. And only being a few months into really playing this, I'm really happy with where I got with this deck, and I think you shouldn't count it out yet, even if it isn't the best. But I do like it, and I think it has some good interactions going into this format. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.